Okay, Dawnbreaker, position 1.
But no, it was on the last patch. Yes, it
Okay.
was on 732.
Good to know. Good to know. I was looking at some of the notes I gave you from last time, just like further up in our Discord chat. When you played safe lane, one of the things we talked about was visualizing how the lane in the game is gonna go before the game starts. Do you have any ideas? So it looks like you're with an ogre, right? You're with an ogre. Tell me how you think, like, what you think, like, your lane's gonna be and how you think it's gonna go.
Well, I'm not entirely sure if I have applied that entirely for this game. Like, probably should have went for a magic stick here because I was going to face a bristleback instead of getting one additional. I don't know how that thing is called. Sorry, the ogre hand or something.
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet of
strength.
strength.
Yeah.
Um, but I think after I caught a magic stick and then I completed the ring because it was giving me armor. But in hindsight, it wasn't probably the best itemization.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you're probably against a bristle. So yeah, you should definitely be starting magic stick if you're against a bristle for sure. So small oversight from you. What about just in general? Like, do you, even without the item, considering the items, what do you think is going to happen? Like, do you think you lane well against a bristle?
I know I played a lot of Dawnbreaker lately, so I know for sure that it's a strong hero. It hits very hard. It was another question that I wanted to ask you here, like because I was somehow thinking about this game and I was questioning whether should I have went for the Orb of Corrosion, like at least parts of that, because it could allow me to play more aggressive toward the bristleback in its first early levels when he's more squishier.
I see.
I wasn't afraid of I wasn't afraid of the bristleback because with my Q, even if he's with his back, if I am not facing him in his face, like I can pass with the Q through him, so he usually gets damaged quite a lot.
Yeah, for sure. He, well, especially early levels, he doesn't even have his passive. Probably doesn't have it till at least level 2. And then what about the supports? Probably like a Hoodwink, right? Hoodwink and,
No, I think it was Shadow Demon, actually.
Shadow Demon? Okay, so that's another hero that spams spells, so... Yeah, Stick would have been really good to start with, because both their supports cast a lot of spells, and then, like, it's almost certainly against a Bristleback, who's going to cast a lot of spells, too.
I've seen that. I'm trying to basically purchase the items during the picking phase, because if I do not purchase them there, then I can go to this mental... Oh, it's a hoodwink, actually. Through this mental step in actually, I'm thinking what I'm going to face. If I manually purchase them, somehow I go with the guide and it's not helping me. So I have to basically quit this habit of purchasing them in the picking phase, because I don't know, automatically clicking those items and they do not apply every scenario.
Yeah, it's important to really, you know, it's hard, but you got to use your brain. You got to be like, what do I need here? What's going to give me the best advantage in the lane? Okay, but you do get the Stick first item, which is good. That's good. Not see anything major so far. This all looks pretty good. There was one thing I'll point out, actually. It was back on the first wave. Because everything else is pretty good. It is pretty small. Or maybe back a little bit more. This wave? Yeah, here?
Okay.
So with this range creep, once it gets into nigh range... So your range creep right now, it's into nigh range, right? So they want to come kill this, but it takes two hits to kill this, right? Like, nobody can kill this in one hit right now. So there's two things that can happen. Because what does happen is you, like, hit it once, then he hits it once, right? You can't stop him from... Yeah, basically, you can't hit it because then he'll just come up and hit it before you can hit it again because you don't attack fast enough. So there's two things that that are possible. The first is you gotta like ping your ogre to come hit it with you, and then you guys hit it at the same time. Like right here, if you just ping to this creep and tell him to come over to deny, you can deny it together.
Okay.
The second thing is you kind of you should fake hit it, and when he walks up, you can go on him because he's out of position. So if you hit it and then like ping him, and then if your ogre uses ignite and you use your W, you'll do like 400 damage for free basically. Like he's not going to be able to hit you back, right? If both of you are like going on him right now because the hoodwink's like kind of not in position either. So you can basically use it as bait, but then not hit it. And then he would have to hit it twice, right? Like he can't commit to it if you don't actually hit it, because he can't hit it twice, because if he hits it once, you can just deny it after that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
So a range creep at this HP, before this hit went off, right, that needs 2 hits, is actually kind of a big opportunity to like set up a punish. You can think about it that way. So this happens, once or twice per lane. It doesn't happen all the time. But either double deny it with your support if they're on the same page as you, or like look to bait it if they are going out of position. And obviously, if this guy was like not paying attention to this creep and he was just up here doing his own thing, it wouldn't matter, right? You could just hit it twice and that would be fine. But good players, want every CS, right? They're not going to let you free deny this creep, but there are other options that you have as a result of that situation, the ones I just described. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. I mean, a good player basically would have, if I was basically the Bristleback and I was playing some, Bristleback did the proper choice anyway, but if I was Bristleback and I was facing an even better player, they would have probably punished me for trying to get that creep.
Exactly. And like basically what the Bristle's options were like, he didn't really have a good option. Maybe if he had a Quill Spray, he could like, I don't know if Quill Spray plus 1 right click at this early of a level, I don't think that would have been enough damage for him to kill it. Maybe. Like, he could have tried to, like, secure it on his own without you hitting it once, but then you still could have punished unless Hoodwink is, like, ready to participate. Kind of didn't seem like she was. So, I did just want to mention that, because the next, like, 2 waves, I think you play fine. And, like, there's nothing super in-depth. They're just kind of shoving the lane at you.
Right there, I probably shouldn't have run away, because I lost 1 creep for fucking around with Ogre. Like, I went too far back, which is something you have told me previously, and I'm trying to get rid of, but I was expecting the wave. And then, that creep dies because I'm getting stuck with Ogre, and that creep dies.
Oh, yeah, you're, like, too far away. I see. Yeah, I don't know why he did that, but, yeah, you're right. You should just be a little, you just don't need to be back here, right? You should be, like, right here. Because he's gonna drag them back anyways, but then the tower is gonna be, like, attacking them so much before you get back to it. So that's a good point. Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They pulled? Oh no, they didn't. Oh, they tried to pull. This is reasonable. This is reasonable. I don't mind that. You missed 1 creep, which isn't a huge deal.
Yes, and we traded basically a post 5 for post 3, so...
Yeah, and it's important to get these kills on Bristle and be aggressive early, because that's when he's the weakest, so I like that trade overall. Okay, so you go straight for the Soul Ring. Yeah, going back to what you said about the Orb of Corrosion or something...
Yes, I was thinking about maybe I should have, I don't know, probably fetch... no, I was actually, after the game, I was thinking if I would have went for a magic stick and probably not get the orb of not get the ring and get an orb of corrosion earlier, it would have helped me probably be even more aggressive in the lane. That was a thought, basically.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't think that's a bad idea. My thought is that it's a big commitment, like gold wise.
Yes.
And
I need
really...
the ring to farm.
Sorry, go ahead.
I need the ring to farm, basically. It helps me. If I use it constantly off cooldown, it gives me two free spells. So otherwise I'll probably have to fetch clarities the whole game. I mean, the ring helps me with my mana for at least 20-25 minutes.
Oh yeah,
So
you definitely need the soul ring. That's not really skippable on this hero. It's required for sure. The orb of like the orb of corrosion, I think is only like good when you're gonna be like. It's kind of only good when like if you hit them once, you can then like keep going on them and like threaten to do a bunch of damage all at once. Versus like Bristle, like you can't just casually trade hits with him if you know what I mean. Like you either
yes.
have to go on him, or like you're kind of not hitting him at all. Does that make sense?
It makes sense because you basically cannot drag the fight long enough, or you have to reset the stacks of Quill. It's not like I don't know, a Monkey King versus some other melee when you can basically drag the fight long enough. Like I
Right,
have
right.
to commit everything at once, or yeah, it was. I was just thinking it would have made a difference for the early game.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Like if you wanted to pick up a casual, like even if you got like a casual Blightstone to build into Deso later, that could make sense. But at the same time, like I don't think it's necessary. I think having Wand, Soul Ring, like Phase Boots kind of ASAP is gonna be good enough. So it's like kind of one of those things where it's like maybe not wrong, but you know, it's not like definitely right either. If you know what I mean.
Yes, yeah, it was. I was just thinking, but overall, this lane went quite okay if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Here I should probably went for probably some more denies.
Let's see. Well, so the lane's pushing at them right now. So they go on you. I think generally that was fine, except that you didn't bring your fire. You didn't bring the hammer back to you quite soon enough, but he still took damage, so it's not a big deal. I think that was okay. You had more creeps, and it's like a more favorable trading situation for you guys. Playing out of Salve. Interesting. I don't think. I don't hate the idea of the salve if your idea is to just like trade a bunch and then need your HP back. I actually don't hate that. It's kind of like a heads up salve. I kind of like that.
My mindset behind the solve is that I'll probably get one more or two kills. Like I remember this, and after each fight with Bristleback, I'll probably remain low HP. So when he's
Right.
dead, the Squirrel cannot threat me. So I'll probably want to shove the lane and maybe try to farm the jungle, depending. And using the Soul Ring would render me even lower. So
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It makes sense. Makes sense. So here, you should just defensive aggro here.
okay.
You're kind of just hitting these, and this guy's like kind of going for like some denies, but like here, if the bristle's back, you should have just defensive aggro these backwards. Like you're kind of giving up the CS for free, for no reason.
Yep.
I think. So definitely not using aggro there. There hasn't been like a ton of opportunities, I don't think, where you've needed it so far, but that was like a big opportunity
Yes,
where you just gave up 2 free creeps, kind of for no reason.
Yeah, I started using that more, but I still have to probably, I mean, make it a habit. Like every time I can, defensive aggro.
Yeah. Alright, Ogre's getting really low. Okay, Dawn used her spells not on you. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I don't think you could have done much different there because Ogre, like, kind of just let himself get quilled like 4 times for no reason. Yeah, here again, if you're like afraid, you can defensive aggro. I just think creeps aren't like dying though. So you do end up buying a Blightstone. It's unfortunate. Oh, bummer.
Yeah, and for some reason there, I remember my laptop froze for some reason, and I was trying to
Okay.
cut a tree, and I died.
Yeah, that was an
Because
unfortunate
I
little
w-
misplay, but nothing else. Nothing really to say about that. I think if you just played it a little bit better, that would have gone fine. You definitely should have bought your item before you TP back to base. It's a pretty big deal. that you like had like 600 gold and then you TP'd back to base and you hadn't spent it, and now you're flying it out with your courier. Having like the extra, you know, whether it's the chainmail or the boots, like having that is like really important in this lane, I think. So definitely buy your items when you're dead.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Yep.
under attack.
Okay, it's fascinating how the mistakes basically add up.
Yeah, I know. It's nothing major, but it's like these it's these small things that you have to do right all the time, and they add up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Don't mind that. Does your ogre not have stun? He has stun. Just in these situations, I mean, this guy, your ogre just doesn't play this correct, I think. But like, if you want to go on them, like when you have an ability like Hammer, right? Where kind of like, it's nice to have setup if you're not going on the guy like right in front of you. Like if he's trying to go on this hoodwink, just try and tell him to like stun. Because if he stuns first and then you just hammer Starbreaker while he's stunned, like you guys like for sure kill this guy probably. Or, you know, at least do, like, almost all of his damage. This isn't your fault. But, like, he, like, tries to start with igniting instead of stunning. And then you, like, totally miss your hammer.
Yep.
So, just try and tell your lane partner if they have a stun. Be like, hey, start with stun, and then, like, I'll follow up. Instead of, like, you know, he just started with ignite for...
But for this kind of scenario, as a question for when I play hard support, it's better even if you have a double stunner to level the ignite because it deals more damage, right? Because Ogre was maxing the ignite here. I was because you mentioned right now. I was wondering if would have been better maybe to max the stun compared to the ignite.
I don't think so. No, I think maxing ignite's fine. I think a skill build's fine. You could go 2-1-1 or something, but I think what he did is like fine and more normal. I wouldn't like overthink it. Bunch of HP. A lot of trading.
I'm trying to reset the stacks here, but he keeps piling them on me.
Nice. Okay. Good. That's good. It's a little tenuous. Very close lane. But that's okay. So, what are you thinking here? Like, after you kill this Bristle? In terms of, like... How do you think the lane is going to continue now? Because Bristle dies. No,
Well, at this point...
going back to his lane.
Yeah. So at this point, probably around 10 minutes max, I'll probably start to want to shove the lane and transition to the jungle and basically assist my team with my ultimate. That's what I...
In terms of like the Bristle coming back, like when the Bristle comes back, do you want to like keep fighting him like this?
In this current state with this HP and mana, probably not.
Yeah, you're kind of reaching a threshold, and when they die, it's kind of important markers of like these thresholds of like, do I want to keep fighting this person? Because like, if you kill them, they're gonna come back with full HP mana, right? And just as strong as they just were, right? And like you're winning the lane, but you're not like crushing him, right? It's like kind of close. So this is like kind of an indicator to me that I would want to stop laning against this Bristle. Like I don't need to be afraid of him. Like I don't need to completely leave my tower alone and not come back, right? But I can stop interacting with him and just play for my own efficiency, and you're still strong enough to like defend the tower, right? Like he can't just dive you under the tower because you're like kind of ahead of him. So that this, oops, no, that's not what I wanted. Bristle's dead. Okay, the Bristle's dead. So that's what I would be thinking for you, like, or well, that's what I'd be thinking for me. Like this Bristle's dead, and like I'm, you know, kind of low. I've noticed you're a couple times you're kind of slow on flying yourself out items. Yeah, your courier's still at the base. Like with the salve, you were sitting on the salve for a while, and then you didn't buy the boots when you were dead, and now you're sitting on your full phase boots, and it's been like, I think it's been a while. Maybe not. Okay, I guess you just killed them. But you could, like, fly it out, like, right now. Like, as soon as you bought these Blades of Attack,
yep.
I would just fly it out immediately. So, but
probably
here...
I was thinking
Sorry, go
Yep.
ahead.
Probably I was thinking, what should I do next, basically, and sometimes I get caught in these thoughts like how I should proceed next, and I probably forget of doing something like actually calling the courier or stuff like
Yeah.
that.
For me, when I have quick buy, I purchase my quick buy with a hotkey, and then I have
Okay.
one hotkey that immediately sends my couriers out to me with whatever's in my stash. So I only have to press. For me, it's F2 to buy sticky, or to buy what's down here, and then I press F4, and my courier just grabs it and delivers it. So I just press F2, and then I press F4, and then I'm done. And my courier's like delivering the items, and it's super fast, and it doesn't take any like fancy button clicking. Do you have like just one hotkey where it grabs from the stash and then starts flying out to you?
Yes, I have, but this is a recurring problem, and I'll have to probably do something about it because I have a mouse, I have a button on my mouse that basically allows me to level the spells. Like I press a button on my mouse, and then I press Q or WV, and I level that spell. And I have another button on my mouse which basically buys anything that's on the quick buy list. And on the other side of the keyboard, basically on the console beneath escape, I have a bind, or it's on the console which flies the courier. So I have to coordinate both hands, like click on the mouse button and click the
Right,
console. So- and sometimes, like I quickly buy with the mouse button, and I have the impression that the courier is going to be delivered with whatever I bought. And then I think about, okay, mid-game approaches, or I kill this, or what should I, and I forget basically to deliver it. It's the bane of my existence. But I'll probably have to add another bind to have the buttons one next to each other, so I can quickly press them both.
I would recommend that, yeah, because it just makes it faster, and then you're like, it's if it's right next to each other, like you said, it'll work better, and you won't have to coordinate both hands, like you said. Because I actually believe you. I believe that would like, it's like a disconnect kind of, and if it can't happen all at once, then it'll be harder to remember to do one thing than the other. Versus like if you're just using one hand as two button presses, then like yeah, it's super simple. So yeah, I would look to fix that, or improve it. I'll say I don't think what you're doing is like broken, but I think you could improve that a little bit. But yeah, here he's dead. He's coming back soon. I'm like kind of low, and like I don't want to fight this guy, so I would be killing this wave as fast as possible.
And then transition to the jungle, or fetch clarities, and because this what you are seeing right now, it's something that I encounter a lot in my games, either on middle or middle, or as a safe lane. I kill them, they come back with full HP and full mana. So I couldn't pinpoint this, like it's this threshold, but I've encountered this scenario and I felt it like, okay, I just killed him. It's a dead, I don't know, level 5 offlaner, so he's going to spawn back in, I don't know, 10-15 seconds. He's going to be back full mana, full HP. It costed me half my HP and half my mana. What do I do next? So I should shove the lane and then transition to the jungle, and I fetch their clarities. And
yeah, if you need it, you can buy like one clarity. Like I don't think you need a lot here, right? You've got a soul ring, you've got a decent amount of regen. Oh, I guess it's this new creep. Wait,
yes,
this is on the
it's
new patch.
Yeah, yes, it's on the new patch.
Oh, I thought you said it wasn't.
No, I mentioned that it's on the new patch.
Okay. I feel like I said the opposite, but it's okay. It's okay. Either way. You could like fly yourself a clarity if you need it. I don't think at this point I would be investing more in health regen. I mean, like, what are you gonna get next? Like,
I'll get an Echo Saber. Initially, when I started playing Dawnbreaker, I was rushing Desolator, but for some games I try to get an Echo Saber in between. It gets me tankier, maybe solves a bit more the mana problem because you have some mana regen. You can generally fight more earlier, but I cannot exactly say when I should probably, or if I should ever skip the Echo Saber.
yeah, I think you can always pick up Echo Saber on Dawnbreaker right now. I don't think you ever need to skip it. I think you can skip it if like, I think Deso's good if you're either like really far ahead and you want to like snowball super hard, or if you're kind of like really far behind and like you just need some form of like damage so that you're not like useless. Because if you're really really far behind and you have an Echo Saber, it feels like you kind of do like no damage.
Yes.
So that you can get a Deso. So I think Deso's best when you're like either really ahead or really behind, or you can get it. You can get Deso any game. Echo Saber I think is like best if you're like, if it's kind of even, or if you're like a little ahead, because like it helps you a lot. But if you're like pretty behind, I would not get Echo Saber. That's when I would skip it.
Okay, so basically, if I lose the lane, I should probably skip it. For Desolator, I felt that it's the moment I get it, it's a huge change. Like I probably can kill a support in 2 spells. Like I WV someone and Q, and they're basically dead. Like the impact the Desolator brings for Dawnbreaker at least, it's huge. But for Echo Saber, in here the guy runs.
It's fine. So Bristol didn't come back to lane, so it kind of seems like what you did like paid off. But like you could have cleared it and then gone and cleared the small camp. So like here, you go all the way back to when he's respawning, because it's like this first wave. Actually, there's like 3 waves. So like if you kill this as fast as possible, then you can go to the small camp, and then you can come back, and then the small camp will respawn, and you can like keep going back and forth.
Okay.
Because what you're doing is you're just missing the small camp. Because you're killing this slow. You killed it slow, you're focused on denying, you're focused more on denying here. You're just killing it slow, because you're not auto-attacking it down. So what you've done is you've missed 2 small camps right now. You missed the first one, and then it would have spawned, you could go do it again. And you're just missing this. It's just less efficient. And there's no reason... I mean, the Bristle didn't even come back. So either A, the Bristle comes back, and you can be doing this, or B, he doesn't come back, and you can kind of still be doing it. You have enough items now with your Phase Soul Ring to where you can constantly transition and to do camps in between like lanes. Like you kill things fast enough. So you kind of reach that threshold, and now you're doing it, and it's just like 2 minutes too slow.
Okay.
And that's what I see a lot actually for people around your level, is like they do start to do it, and it's just too slow. Try and think like your plan should always be eventually to do this, right? Whether you're ahead or behind, eventually you want to transition into the jungle and like go back and forth, right?
Okay.
Like that happens every game.
Yes, when he starts pushing, I should basically plan, and when he starts pushing the lane under my tower, I go back, take the farm, and then proceed back in the jungle.
Exactly. And you should be thinking for yourself about when the earliest you can do this is, because the earlier you start doing it, the more farm you're getting for yourself in XP. So
yeah, it makes absolutely sense. So
yeah, and like for Dawnbreaker, it's kind of like you can do it basically as soon as you have like Phase Soul Ring, and like you're level 6 or 7, you kind of have enough sustain at that point to go do it. And so like every game as Dawnbreaker, when you're like hitting level like 6, 7, if you have these items, like you should be looking to go do this basically. It's kind of like an item, like you have to have enough items and you have to have enough like levels. And for Dawnbreaker, it's like having Phase Soul Ring and like enough levels.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. I'll try to apply it more.
So like here, like I want you to kill these and like go jungle some more. Like I don't want you to just sit here and like casually lane and slow. And
so
this is okay if you're trying to kill them, but like as far as the creeps
go, after around 8 minutes, judging by how games go right now, even if it's a even lane, I should probably start doing this.
Yep.
Not basically going and waiting for the last hit. So.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
It makes sense.
Okay. I kind of saw you were doing there. You were like kind of waiting to maybe ult top. So yeah, this is good. Now you're killing it fast. Yeah, see, that was good. You just insta-killed that wave, didn't even wait for your wave to come, and now you're like efficiently farming the jungle. Like you could have been doing this the whole time.
Way earlier, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you even get this camp. You get 3 camps, and now if you want, you can go back to the lane. And you do, yeah. Okay, I don't know if you know what there, but that's great.
I was trying actually for Ogre to not die. I mean, that was but Ogre went outside of the ult.
Yeah, that's classic. Wow, that's a cool death from Sniper. Alright. right? Yeah, this has all been really good, actually. Really, really good.
Well, what I've been trying to apply in my games, because the last time we discussed, I'm usually playing more middle, but somehow I was bored of the middle heroes, and I feel like playing some carry games. And I was trying to incorporate, because for middle you were telling me that I have to incorporate a small camp more in my middle process. So I figured out that somehow I was farming poorly, so I try to farm more efficiently or farm more camps or something around basically this idea. But right now it's probably about how fast I figure out what I should do next.
Yeah, yeah. That's definitely just always going to be a struggle. Okay, so there's been a lot of fighting down here. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, but because I'm playing a Dawnbreaker, probably, I mean, if I would have played a Void and my Chronosphere would have been down, I would have probably switched to the offlane or somewhere I can farm freely, because without Chronosphere...
Right, you don't want to be where all the fights are.
But as Dawnbreaker, I can both farm very fast. I think I fucked up something here. Yeah, I remember that. I was trying to, because that was a bigger camp, I was trying to get that stacked, and I didn't stack that camp, and I didn't clear the other one.
Well, so here's the thing is I would be considering, like, so a big fight happened down here, or I guess a series of fights happened down here, and you even dived this guy, which is fine, free kill. But at this point, I would be looking to leave this lane. And you were just talking about, like, if you were a Void, right, you'd leave. But here's the thing. When you have a bunch of your teammates, like, just sitting down here, it's just not very efficient on the map. Like, now that your whole team is rotated down here, for the most part, like, Monkey's not here, maybe died or something, I don't know. Monkey's not here, but you've got 4 heroes in the same area. And this is very early in the game still, relatively. So, like, I don't think it's good for you guys to just... be sitting down here. Yeah. And I think if you want to clear this is fine. But, like, basically, I'd, like, TP top here. Like, I just get out of here. Because nobody's up here. Sent doesn't have a TP up. Monkey's just chilling mid. Like, he doesn't need to, like, change where he is. So, like, you're kind of the best hero right now to, like, go and occupy this lane of farm. And then, like, if you want, you can back off to the jungle and, like, kind of just farm more of the map.
Okay. It makes sense. Like, I think I returned there probably to take the tower, or I have no idea what I'm doing next. I know I fuck up around some stacks here, but I don't know what I'm doing after this. I don't know if I transition top or if I go back bottom to try to take the tower, or... Yeah, I had a...
Well, I mean, you jungled, which is like... It's like okay, right? You were farming yourself. You didn't stay around the lane, which is good. I'm glad that you didn't, like, stay around the lane. So I think, like, as opposed to going top, what you did is, like, the next best thing. And Monkey did go top, so now you're, like, transitioning to mid. So this, like, kind of worked out based on, like, your Monkey moving around. So I don't mind what ended up happening. I just think I would have gone top sooner because of what I said, like, just to, like, get that farm and, like, play more of the map.
Okay, yes, it makes sense. Because if we are all bottom, I'm also not getting any XP because it's been split in, I don't know, without 4 other players. And I was the only one that can basically farm that side of the map without actually... I mean, if for them to kill me, they would have to commit like 3 or 4 players. I think 3 players tried to kill me earlier on middle and they didn't succeed. So, yes, I should do more of that.
Okay. So
I'm trying to also master Dawnbreaker a bit more. I haven't played her that much. Like, I started playing Dawnbreaker after our coaching session, and I find her very interesting. I think that it also solves me a problem that I have to probably address for other carries, to farm somehow close enough to the team. So basically I have to farm, but I also to be ready to join team fights. Like, I don't know, use Omni Slash on cooldown or use the Chronosphere. Because I was checking some videos of, I don't know, Ame or some other carries, and somehow he's farming and he's taking all the space possible on the map, but he's also ready to fight, and somehow they move the team with him. Somehow they are close enough but far apart. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's very hard to replicate in pubs, especially like at your level. Like your teammates are not going to play like Ame's teammates.
Obviously.
Yeah. So the best thing you can do is just look at like kind of your patterns in general and make sure they make sense with regards to like basically in normal pubs, like a normal MMR bracket, it's like basically just regards to your TPs. Like, are your TPs up? Can you show up to your team? And like, are you reading the map properly with regards to like where it's efficient for you to go and where it's like safe for you to go? So like that one time we talked about like you could have gone top, or it would have been more efficient for you to go top. And like this, I actually want to talk about too, is what happens right now. So your centaur, oh no, your centaur's not being bottom, it's replay bug, but your monkey is bottom right now. Like you farmed this camp after this fight, which is fine, and your monkey's here in the jungle, and there's creeps down here that somebody would like to farm. And basically what happens is you and monkey both move this way on the map. If you see the mini map,
Yes.
you're both moving this way, which is not good. And basically you guys are just like, nothing's happening, so like kind of all three cores are farming. There's not a lot of space on the map is what's happening. But what I would have done if I were you is I would have cleared this, and then you want to move away from where like your other like cores are. I mean, you've got like three kind of greedy-ish cores, like all three of you kind of want to farm. I wouldn't want to waste your TP here. I don't think you have a great option given like the map right now. Your options are kind of to run at this lane, I think, or to run at this lane, but like monkey's already over here. If this is like higher level Dota, you as the Dawnbreaker could probably even TP down here because you have your ultimate, right? And you could like tell your team to go play top. Given that this is like Archon, I don't know if that would work out. But what you could do is you could just like walk top and like again occupy this area and like let your team kind of occupy like the areas they're going to occupy, because it's not just about like obviously they're not going to do the most efficient thing. So what's important is like that you play around that to whatever extent you have to. So like here the monkey's made his way bottom, right? And you like walk up to this camp that he had already done, and notice how top lane is just being unoccupied. Your supports are like kind of also occupying mid. Because what happens is you come down here, and then for whatever reason, I have no idea why, your centaur TP's down here. And now you've got three cores in the same lane, which is what you want to avoid at all costs. So your centaur made this worse by showing up here, but you also just walk straight towards your monkey king. And you shouldn't want to be down here as multiple cores, because this is your safe lane tier 1 tower. You guys are like, well, you're not even ahead, but you're putting no pressure on the map, and they've got like a sniper and a PA, and Bristles like scales really well now. So if I were you, I would have like moved from here like towards top and play towards this area, and you can like try and tell your supports to like come play behind you or something like that. This isn't all your fault though, because like they also came down here, and I don't think they should have been down here in the first place. But yeah, this is like really awkward. Yeah, you will die. Yeah, I think you kind of get baited here by your team, and it doesn't help that you're like a Dawnbreaker who like kind of wants to ulti into fights. But your centaur is basically feeding. You need to identify this, like what he did. Is he TP'd bottom for no reason, and then ran into their triangle. This is not how Dota works. Like his supports. Wait, where's your? Okay, yeah, the supports are not with him. Like you guys are not particularly strong. The enemy is not particularly split up. Like, there's nobody showing top. Like, they could easily have all 5 of their heroes in this area. So, basically, you just need to identify that this guy is a crazy person and not, like, commit to helping him. Yeah. You just have to
Yeah,
let him feed, and then if he starts flaming his team, like, you just gotta mute him, because he's, like, playing like an idiot. Like, he sets up this whole, like, feed for your team. Like, he just baits your whole team in here, and then you lose, like, everything. Your monkey is smart. What your monkey's doing is good. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was thinking like probably I created the whole shitty situation because if I would have TP'd up and applied pressure, pushed the top lane, someone would have come there, and if Centaur would have entered the jungle, get ganked or whatever he did right now, at least they would have been split because I could have probably joined with my ultimate. I wasn't expecting the monkey because Centaur got caught. I started casting my ultimate and monkey TP top, so I was actually not expecting that TP.
Yeah, well, so your monkey correctly identified that what you guys were doing was stupid, and then he left, which makes sense. But yeah, you're right. If you hadn't been down here in the first place, then maybe Centaur wouldn't have TP'd down here, because he was like, oh, my team's down here, even though it was 2 cores. And then I think he thought you guys were going to, like, back him up for this play, even though it was, like, a really dumb play. But yeah, if you don't group with your team, then less stuff like that happens. Because sometimes when your team groups up at these lower MMRs, like, your teammate will take it as an opportunity that, oh, we must have to do something. And then they make the worst possible play. Because if you're down here and you want to do something, like, the main thing that people do is run into the triangle, is just, like, suicide. So yeah, try not to group with your team or your other cores, especially around, like, this bottom tier 1 at, like, 15, 20 minutes into the game. It's just, like, not what you want to be doing. So you TP bottom here. Wow. Gosh. Oh, you killed that guy. Wow. What a hero. I don't mind that you TP down here, because you have your Solar Guardian. On any other carry, except for Spectre, this TP would probably be trash. But as Dawnbreaker, it's actually okay.
With Dawnbreaker, it allows me to basically waste my TPs, let's say, because I can use it more recklessly and somehow still be able to join the team. I find it a Spectre that can find more earlier, but probably doesn't scale late game as good as Spectre, I suppose.
Yeah.
Haven't had that many games with Dawnbreaker passing, I don't know, 50 minutes, so I don't know for sure how great it scales late game. But it feels like a Spectre that can basically fight early game.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, then you walk into the enemy triangle. You guys kind of had the vision to do this. Like, I don't know if it's good, but it kind of works out because your whole team is now here. I don't really like that you guys are, like, hanging around here. I guess you're just way stronger than them, though, so I guess that's fine. You guys are taking this tower. Wow, these guys are going ham right now. Okay, so we've gotten what we came for here. We got the tower. Our Centaur died. Not a huge deal. We, like, killed a bunch of them. So here you have to identify, like, how you need to, like, kind of reset, because you should not want to be here anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so for these kind of scenarios, probably going back to the triangle and farm the triangle, or go back to my jungle, but I mean, it depends on what Monkey King does next, because if he goes to the triangle, I should probably go inside our jungle and clear it basically from one side to another. But if Monkey stays in the jungle, I should probably TP to that tier 1 and clear the triangle.
No, I don't think so. I think so. What's happened is basically you guys have shown that you're, like, stronger than them. You're not, like, way ahead, but you're, like, stronger than them, and you probably feel that in the game, right? You guys are, like, killing them in their triangle, and then you're, like, diving them here, and then you're diving them here, and you're, for the most part, it's going pretty well, right? So you should, like, know you're, like, stronger than them, right? Would you agree? You guys are, like, stronger than they are. Okay, so when you're stronger than they are, you should not be looking to go play, like, on your own side of the map. Like, nothing you just said, you're like, oh, I should go farm my own triangle, or maybe I should go farm my own jungle. Those are both terrible options.
Okay, so probably invade their side of the map. Play inside.
What you need to do is not play here. You need to play here. And you can do the exact same thing you've been doing, but up here, and then it opens up Roshan for you guys. So what you should do, I was checking your support's items. What would ideally be nice is if they had a smoke, the 3 of you could smoke and, like, just cut across this way and then, like, play up here. And if you find somebody, great, and if you don't, fine. But you're here and you can farm here. given that nobody has a smoke on your team, you can still do this. You can still walk over. It's a little more dangerous because they're like respawning and they might just like go on you. Or you can just TP top right now. Like if you TP top, you could like walk up here, push it out, and then start playing up here. And then I would be telling my team to come play up here with me. Like I'd be drawing arrows. I'd TP and then I'd like draw arrows like from here, and I draw an arrow up to over here, and like I draw an arrow on my monkey like up to over here, and I'd be like, guys, come play top. And like your monkey will shove this in and come play top, and your supports will TP with you. Like they can just TP and follow you. Like all three of you can like TP here, and then you can start playing up here now. Like that's absolutely what needs to start happening here. Because like what needs to happen next in this game? Like what is your team's like game plan?
Well, that's the problem. I don't think we actually had a game plan. I mean, even for the early phase, I don't feel like we pressured them enough.
No. You played fine up until here. I'm just saying from this point on the map and the timer and the towers that have been taken, like what needs to happen next for your team? Like what are the next things that your team would naturally do?
We have to pressure them. We have to play their side of the map, basically invade their jungle, stop them from farming, I'd say.
Well, you need to well, yes, but like in terms of objectives, your next objectives should be to like take this outpost, take Roshan, take these towers, right? Like these are the next objectives that you need to take. Your game plan should be how do we get these objectives?
It makes sense.
And for that to happen, all four of these objectives are in the same part of the map, you know, roughly. Like you just need to come play up here. And then then because you're stronger than them, like these will just happen. Like you guys took this bottom tier 2 because you were just all here and you were owning them, and then you just naturally took the tower because you were just killing them all, and then you were here, so it died. So you just go do the same thing up here, you'll naturally just take all these objectives because you'll be killing them, and then they'll be dead, and then you can just take their towers.
Yes, it makes sense. And taking this tier 2 basically opened the outpost. So
yeah, well,
naturally
you already can take the outpost because you took this. Even if you didn't, though, like say you hadn't taken this tier 2 tower, because I don't actually care about this, and it doesn't matter that you did. Like if this tower was still up, you should still be looking to play up here. And yeah, take the tower, take the outpost, take Roshan, you know, take the other mid tower. It's all about taking objectives at this phase in the game when you're stronger. And like playing the right part of the map that enables you to take these objectives. Let's see what ends up happening. So you are kind of moving, yeah, you're like moving into your triangle, which is like not good. Because it's just like backwards on the map. And Monkey was already here. Like just notice like your monkey's in your triangle right now. And then you just farmed straight, you just walked straight at your monkey who was already in the triangle. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like why are you putting 2 cores in the same area of the map? So instead, like I said, like you farmed your way mid, which is fine. I just want you to keep moving this way. Right?
Yes.
Keep moving this way. And like maybe your monkey comes up and connects now. Don't walk at your own course though. Don't ever walk at your own course.
I'll try to basically avoid this, like having cores stacked. Okay, and yeah, monkey connected to that, so I should have probably crossed their jungle.
Yeah, that would have been good, just so you're not fighting over the same farm. It's just more efficient for your team as a whole. Like even if you'd rather him be doing this and you'd be doing this, like if he's already there, like don't force it. So you guys took the outpost and you took the Roshan, which is good. You know, top got pushed in. Let's see what you guys do here. You're gonna run straight back to their triangle or what? No, you're gonna take a fight out here. This is fine. Not a dive, but your lineup kind of like just dives and runs it down. So, alright. Sniper's getting pretty strong. So
yes, sniper started to feel like a problem here, and so was PA.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is that so you guys took the Roche. So here it just becomes about like identifying like what objectives you can take and like what your team's timings are. Like you're making a play as 5, which is good. It's a good start, but it's about identifying like what your timings are. I mean, you have this basher. You're going BKB. What's your monkey have? Your monkey's items are trash. This guy can, like, not fight, basically. I mean, he can, but, like... I mean, I guess you guys just felt like you were strong enough to do this. I'm a little surprised it didn't go that well. What happened is you used a lot of abilities on the hood.
Yeah, probably after this kill we should have went back.
Yeah, I think that's what happened is you, like, dove, but you have no way, once the Centaur's used his blink combo, to, like, actually get on top of this sniper, is the problem. So this is just, like, I guess just, like, a teamfight execution thing, because you kind of just kind of force this dive, and then it, like, just keeps going,
and then,
keeps going. Oh, you griefed your Monkey King here. I don't know if it's 100% your fault. You broke his tree.
Oh,
Your hammer.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was on purpose.
No, I know it wasn't on purpose. I know it wasn't on purpose. But yeah. Yeah, this fight... They didn't even buy back anybody. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I think you guys just dove too far here. I think it would have been nice to get that pick off and then just back off and, like, take the towers. Or, like, come at the tower and, like, establish more vision and, like, kind of look to do it again when you have the full combo up. Because once you jump in and get a pick off, it's not that important. I think you kind of have to respect at that point, like, their turn potential of, like, the sniper if you're not getting on top of them. Because, yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it is a PA and it is a sniper, and they do scale well. And they kind of just, like, slowly whittled you guys down as you were, like, kind of killing the bristle and... your ogre walked in like a maniac here. So, like, obviously this is just, like, not perfect execution, which is fine. But in the future, what you should take away is that, like, if you get a kill like that, like, it's okay to, like, just back off and then, like, go push out the lanes again. And, like, you know, pressure the towers more naturally and, like, set up... It's better to, like, have vision set up. Because, like, where you were fighting, you guys didn't have vision set up. They might have had vision set up, you know? I'm not sure. But it was just, like, around their tower without, like, you guys even threatening the tower. Because you guys don't, like, take towers that well unless they're dead.
I was thinking, because you mentioned earlier Monkey King items, because in the beginning I remember that I asked him on the mic, because I was looking at their lineup and obviously have Bristleback and PA, and I knew that at some point they are probably going to pose a threat, so I was discussing if I should get an NKB or are we going to have a Silver Edge. Should I go Silver Edge? I was thinking, and Monkey said that he's going to go Silver Edge. So I was thinking right now, maybe was that an okay decision? Maybe I should have went for that. But I don't know if even if I would have went for a Silver Edge because I was farming faster than him due to my spells. If it would have made any chance, like I couldn't kill the sniper there with the Silver Edge because I would have to probably dive through a tower, maybe a blink instead of that basher.
Yeah, I think looking at the lineups,
I mean, Assault Cuirass was an option because they deal a lot of physical damage, but even with Assault Cuirass would not have saved me, like, probably infinitely. Like, okay, I would die harder, but still I would die.
yeah, I think against their lineup, I think having, like, Blink BKB probably is better than the Basher. Because I think your guy's main problem is going to be making sure you, like, get on top of the sniper, but it's also just, like, a team execution thing. Like, if you guys are going to take a team fight, your main objective needs to be to, like, get the sniper. Like, this guy doesn't have a BKB. He's, like, your classic Archon sniper, just going greedy as fuck. And, like, if you guys don't get on top of him, like, you need to Stampede, and Centaur needs to go on him, and then if you had a Blink, like, you could go on him. Like, you need to find and kill the sniper. Which I think is what's happening here, actually. Yeah, the sniper dies to start the fight, which is, like, perfect for you guys. Unfortunately,
yeah, but then
massive.
PA clears us. And from this point, the game basically started to spiral. We couldn't do anything to the PA. I mean, what level was PA here? Okay, 21. Like, I mean,
that fight, he got level 21, yeah.
I don't know what level was he before this team fight, but after level 15, like the moment he got that talent, he became way harder to kill because he had, like, I don't know, 85% evasion or something. He didn't even go for
talent.
the fuck.
Yeah, but either way, your lineup's not particularly good at killing the PA, especially when he has BKB up. Yeah, it becomes pretty hard because if they just like kind of group together, if you dive the sniper, they'll punish you with PA, and if you like try and kill the PA, the sniper will punish you. It's kind of a hard lineup to play into now that you guys like kind of threw a little bit.
Yeah, and from this point, it, we, I mean, I think in 5 to 10 minutes the game ends. Like we couldn't do anything to them anymore.
Yeah, well, because yeah, you're the only one on your team with actual farm. Like your monkey and your centaur, even though they were like quote unquote farming in certain phases, like actually just don't have any gold, which is like not good. Like if you guys had like an AC on your centaur and like your monkey had like a BKB and could actually fight, you guys might be in a better shape. But given that this is the net worth distribution, I think it becomes almost impossible to fight them because your hero does not really solo carry against like a sniper PA, and that's kind of the situation you're in. Like if you don't win the game for your team, like you're just not going to win. So I see how that happens.
Okay, yeah, looking at the network distribution, like on this graph here, it makes more sense. Like I mean, and thinking right now, even if I would have, because I completed this game, this was the kind of game like I'll play one more and then I go to sleep. And I went into my bed and I was, how the fuck we lost that game?
Yeah.
Like I tried to play the best I can, and thinking right now, even if, okay, let's say I go for blink and I blink on the sniper and I Q him, W him, maybe I can heal him, but during that downtime I feel useless. Like the moment I don't have my Q anymore, I mean, that 2 Starbreaker charges, that 25 talent helps the hero a lot because I can probably take on 2 heroes.
But it takes longer to get there now.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that what happened, like just overall game wise, is you guys you had that one throw in their triangle, and then that delayed the game a bit, and then you guys like did all this fighting over here, but I don't think you actually killed anybody important, if I remember. Like you might have got the bristle once or twice, but like the PA and the sniper, I don't know if ever died when you guys were doing all these shenanigans over in this area. Maybe one of them died once, but basically the game delayed a long time for the first feed that was in the triangle, doing all this shenanigans over here, and then you guys got the Aegis finally, and then you guys like threw it away. And basically all of that combined gave enough time for like the sniper and the PA to like come online, and then they do actually just outscale you, and you guys like didn't like farm efficiently in the meantime. You kind of did. You have a lot of farm. Your teammates didn't farm enough to keep up, but that's kind of like what happened in the game to like get you guys to this point. And then at this point, yeah, it's almost impossible to win unless they like fuck up, which they can. Like I wouldn't like say I would not give up on this game if I was in it playing it, but it becomes very hard.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, how the opposing team throws, somehow they dive the base.
They can always throw.
But I was thinking, because looking at Monkey King right now, I mean, obviously he can farm it his WV. I'm trying to probably understand his point of view because I like Monkey King as a hero. Given that he doesn't have a Maelstrom, obviously he cannot farm that efficiently. He can only farm with his view and his 2 spells. So maybe he should have fighted more during the early game. I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't try and break it down from your teammates' perspectives. Like honestly, they are just random people. You don't have to, just think of them as like friendly bots who are like helping you. But like, you shouldn't try and like break down what they should have done differently too much, because like, if you were playing as them, I'm sure you would have made like a ton of different decisions just because everybody's different. But like in terms of like what you could have done differently, not getting baited in this first fight by your centaur, right? Just you have to have a little bit more discipline and recognize that like you can't save that guy with being an idiot. And then like when you guys are ahead, like looking to play more like up here and pressure, and that way like your pressure results in like this tower and this and Roshan sooner. And then when you have that, then you like, without having these throws, you would have been further ahead when like you actually did go to like kind of take these more important objectives, and maybe those fights would have gone better, and because the PA and the sniper wouldn't have been like they wouldn't have had as much time, right?
Well, I mean, PA had only 2 items. He had Desolator. I mean, he had Battle Fury and BKB, and Shah, but that was enough.
Yeah, no, it was enough. Well, it's just because of the the net worth. Like, you didn't have a ton of items, but like your team has even less. Like, these items are not good for 30 minutes, and like it's like no BKBs, so like they just like kind of jump on you and kite you, and your team has like no way to like
I actually remember
or, like, disengage or anything like that.
I actually remember why I didn't go for Blink here, because I was going for Blink on Dawnbreaker because I can cast the first spell and I can blink before the stun lands, and I can basically land directly with the stun, or I can blink somewhere during the first one of the three strikes and follow up with the spell already casted. But since this patch they changed, or I don't know if it's an intended change, but I can only blink in the direction the spell has been casted. And if I get the shard, I can only blink, from what I tested last night, during the first charge. If I try to blink later, it doesn't work anymore. Like, I couldn't actually land with the stun. So when I played this game, I had the impression that it's bugged, so I said, fuck it, I'm not going to blink. I take the blink so I can land immediately with the stun.
Yeah,
because
I don't think of it that way. Like, when I buy a blink on Dawnbreaker, I just blink in and then Starbreaker right on top of somebody. Like, use the whole combo. Like, I don't start Starbreakering and then blink. You just blink and then use it, and like usually they can knock it away. I mean, right, this sniper, if you like blinked Starbreaker to him, he's like not getting away. He doesn't have a BKB. He can't do anything. He doesn't even have a shard. Like, he has no way to get away from you if you just like blink Starbreaker on. Like, if you blink Starbreaker and then use your W on him, like, he just dies. Like, you just solo kill him. He's so weak. So that's what I get a blink for. I wouldn't worry too much about the. I haven't even heard anybody talk about the interaction, or I don't think I've even seen that before, what you're talking about.
I remember because I was playing with that thing, like I would, for certain heroes that could basically escape, like a Queen of Pain, I would wait for the last strike, which is the stun, and I would blink with that charge, and I would basically land directly with the stun. And I was doing that quite a lot, and it never required me to basically cast the spell somehow facing the way I'm going to blink. So when that changed, I was under the impression that it's bugged, or I cannot do that anymore. Anyway, I don't know if the blink would have changed that much, but yeah, I'll try to play more with the blink.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like I said, I've never tried to do that before. Kind of makes sense. It seems like I don't think that would only be good except for in niche situations. Because even if you like blink, if you have vision on like a core that's like, even if they have escape, like if you blink instant Starbreaker, like they have to react very fast to like not get hit by the full combo, which I just don't think at your level probably is going to happen that much. But yeah, did you want to look at another replay real quick before we wrap up? We still got like 20 minutes left, maybe.
Can we note some down and I send you a replay, because I had some support games and I wouldn't want to replay them now. So if I can send you a replay some other time in the following week when I play a more significant game, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I can like take a look at it.
Because I had like some weird patch game where our Ursa basically griefed and AFK the whole game. I had some supports game, and I wouldn't actually want to review them. So
Sure.
if it doesn't, if it, and I don't have any role queues right now, so I'll probably have to play in the following days some games to actually get a. So if it doesn't conflict your schedule, if it conflicts your schedule, we can review one of those games. It's no problem. But otherwise, I'll probably like to wait for a more significant game.
And
you can.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, thank you very much. I was looking at the graph right now, and we were never actually ahead. Like, even if after some team fights.
Yeah, well, I think this is where you guys threw in their triangle the first time, and then you like took their tier 2 and you took Roshan, and then this is where you like threw after getting the Aegis.
Yep.
You got the Aegis, and then you all died, and that just totally snowballed it in their direction. Yeah, that Aegis was actually very important for you guys. Yeah, because that was, what time was that? was basically at like 27-ish, which is like right here, and then like right here, right? You're like way ahead, and then like they like very quickly start to catch up and like exceed your your guys' course, and then the game's like impossible from there. So, hey, thanks for watching. If you like my channel, please give it a subscription. If you like the video, give it a like. If you have any questions, I do read the comments, so, let me know. And if you want to be coached by me, check the link in the description to my Discord. There's all the information for how to sign up there, and I'll see you in the next video.